kinds, from all places, lying along the roads. That's without the tents. And then you look at the tents and the homeless, and you say, what's happening to this great bastion? Perhaps some people will not like hearing this, but the only way you're going to remove the hundreds of thousands of people, and maybe throughout our nation, millions of people we're talking about, and help make our cities clean, safe, and beautiful again, is to open up large parcels of inexpensive land in the outer reaches of the cities.
Donald Trump is coming up with solutions, you guys. He's got a solution to the homeless problem in America. It only took him his entire life to say something about it that he doesn't actually care about. As long as you can buy the gold coins that pop up next to you on Newsmax, and everything is fine while you learn about the homeless problem. Anyways, from what you heard there, tents, maybe we can pop up and just have a full-on slum city, because that's what works in America with the homeless problem, because that's really just the basis, the problem, and then the solution is all right there. They don't have enough nice tents available. Actually, let's let him explain that part.
Is to open up large parcels of inexpensive land in the outer reaches of the cities, bring medical professionals, including doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, drug rehab specialists, build permanent bathrooms and other facilities, make them good, make them hard, but build them fast, and create thousands and thousands of high quality tents, which can be done in one day. And you have to move people out. Now, some people say, oh, that's so horrible. No, what's horrible is what's happening now. Because now they're in tents, but most of them aren't even tents that function.
We need functionable tents, large, nice, luxurious tents. Put them in one particular part of the city and block off and barricade them and keep them there where they're nice and happy. As long as there's people that run in that are doctors and facilitators and bathrooms, all these things. Let's just set up an entire city. Weird, because we've got one of those in LA, and I'm sure they're in other cities as well. We call it Skid Row. Here, let's take a look at what Skid Row looks like while I tell you guys about it. About 5,000 people are concentrated on this 50 blocks of Skid Row, which is a little over half of whom are in shelters or temporary housing. The rest sleep rough in Los Angeles. More than a third suffer from a substance use disorder, and many are mentally ill or physically disabled. The area is squalid. LA provides around 50,000 shelter beds for a steadily increasing homeless population of more than 60,000. And according to LA Homeless Services Authority, an average of 207 people exit homelessness every day, while an average of 227 become homeless. Now, I'm showing you guys Skid Row here because, again, that's in Los Angeles and people have heard about this, but I'm not sure if many people have seen it, and also why it's there and how it operates. Because there was a 1975 document that was called the Containment Plan. Not the 2022 containment plan that Donald Trump just floated, but from 1975. Here's a piece of that. It said, if, however, there was restrooms, benches, and pleasant open spaces within the contained area of Skid Row. Does that sound familiar, what we just heard? The residents might be inclined to confine their activities to the immediate area. That section would serve as a magnet to hold undesirable population elements in Skid Row. Not against their will, but of their own accord, is what this proposal suggested in 1975. And look, it's a reality, Dan.
What Donald Trump is proposing there is one of the most American things I've ever heard, because I think about healthcare, which homelessness is a healthcare issue. I think about the economy, which homelessness is an economic issue. And when I see all these things, I see the American solution is to see the gaping, gushing, bleeding wound and to put a Band-Aid on it and be like, yeah, we're all good. Like from the 70s all the way to 2022, the idea is, no, we'll give them nice bathrooms, we'll give them nice beds and services, move them to the outskirts of town and let them do with what they may. When in reality is, you have to look at why people are unhoused, why people are in these situations where they're struggling to make ends meet, where the remaining money they do have on like food or water, whatever, they fall into drug habits and they aren't in a situation where they're able to work on their mental health issues, because we have a society that says if you don't have a job or you aren't able to keep a job, you are on your own and left to die.
And we need to get rid of you.
Exactly. We need to deal with those aspects of our society, from guaranteed housing down to making sure people have employment, down to the things that Trump is pretending to care about, like making sure that we have proper mental health services, and not just things like, gold-plated tents from Donald Trump's presumably friends, where if he would get elected, he'd have some tent company his friend does, and he'd make a buck off of that, and then do all that other usual Trump he does. Sorry.
Yeah, these politicians, they know how to make sure they solve the problems for the folks who pay for them to be there, but they don't know how to solve the problems for folks that they don't care about, because who cares? Let's just get them out of our sight. How many times can you get folks out of your sight before they keep popping up in your sight? Because there's a society thing we've got going on here. But as long as they're pushed out of your sight for long enough, you can feel better about yourself. Or maybe the right folks' sight. Let's get them out of our neighborhoods and into that neighborhood. That's the way this works. Go on your neighborhood app. You're gonna find a lot of people, when they get frustrated by any crime or homelessness or people digging through their belongings outside, they go, when are they gonna move these people out of here? They don't care where, just move them, because they're just pieces.